Okay. What's up, athletes? Welcome to this video. Today we're going to talk about how to run more efficiently, how to jump more effectively, and how to get more power and explosion through one leg as you are doing movements like this or landing like so. Things that require you to use your back leg to push off, right? Which is literally everything. Whether you're trying to change direction, again, back leg. Whether you're trying to jump, some sort of back leg involvement always. So to understand this movement, we developed a pattern that helps you understand how to connect from your big toe all the way up through your hamstring, through your groin, glute, lat, obliques, your entire chain. And that's the key component to understand from this video, is that you have to understand the point of contact from your toe, okay? So this toe cannot push, you're more likely to be collapsed into your foot like this. Your knee's gonna buckle in, your hip's gonna go in. You're probably hearing us say this over and over again. It's because it needs to be understood. And then this keeps happening right here, so your butt's poking out, okay? So you have no power from this position. Try to jump like this. There's just no space to even try to jump in that fashion. But if everything's connected from the ground up and you isolate these muscles in a chain, you can get really, really strong and get your movements to work for you. So what you need is a plate like this, a bumper plate and a ball. And if you don't have this, you can use a chair or a stool, something that just elevates your foot off the floor. The higher the elevation, the harder it is. So I'd recommend getting something low like this to work for you. I would recommend using a sponge of sorts. This is like a Mr. Clean sponge you can get off Amazon. You can use a cleaning sponge that works really well. An eraser works too. So once you get it set up, you need a wall as well. Get your body really close up against your setup, like super close, okay? Once you get really close, you're gonna get your sponge or your item up against the wall, and you want just your big toe to be on it, okay? Just your big toe is what's on that sponge. The rest of your toes are more or less hanging off the sponge, okay? Now the idea here is that you want your big toe to press into the sponge. That means the medius or thickest part of your toe needs to press into the sponge. The rest of your toes, I like to flex up because it helps me dig to my big toe harder. And if I do that correctly, then I should feel my shin fire up. Okay? Now the idea is that you don't want to push hard that you extend your knee back. That's not the point of the movement. It's just to get engagement through the arch. So just to show you the camera angle so you can see what the arch is doing, I'm going to show you my right side real quick. So look at my arch here. See how it lifts like that? That's what you're wanting when you're jumping and sprinting and doing the things you need to do to be an athlete. That's what you want. So that's what we're going to practice in training too. So here we go. I'm back here, boom, pressing in position. Okay, now that I have this, my leg is more or less at 90 degrees. You can kind of see that right there. And I want to think about driving the heel straight down to the ball. It's going in the downward direction. So my big toe is just engaging into the sponge, but not so hard to where I'm launching. So I'm pushing there. I'm just going to hold it. I should feel my shin fire. My arch is on. If I drive my heel down, I should feel my hamstring, okay, and my glute. Once you get all these static connections down, the next thing to do is get your lat on the opposite side. So what I'm doing on my right side, guys, is I'm driving down to the floor, keeping my shoulder down to my hip, and retracting my scap. That's what you're doing, okay? So it needs to be opposite side. Squeezing my lat. So all this is connected. Heel down, big toe is driving, lats on. I'm just gonna hold this for about 15 seconds to understand it. And if you do it right, everything should be burning from your shin, hamstring, glute, opposite lat, even your abs. Deep breaths. Once I get this on, it feels like it's primed. Opposite leg comes up in this flexed shape, okay? Now remember, you are driving down with your heel, okay? So I'm driving down with my heel to come up. That's important. If you drive forward, you're gonna launch yourself back. You don't want that. You wanna stay in that 90-degree angle the entire time. So here, okay? Now, I can go really high if I want to. That's not the point, though. The point is, can you keep your glute tucked the entire time? So that's my true range. Okay? And then the next thing you want to think about is, last but not least, bringing the opposite arm up like you're running, or like you're doing a layup, or like you're jumping to grab something up high. So notice my elbows stay in, my lats stay on. If you do it too fast, yes, you can get high. That does nothing for you, okay? So keep the big toe pressing, drive the heel straight down, and work. Shh. This is the honest range. It's burning already. It should burn the small range of motion, guys. Go for 40 reps. If you can't do 40 in a row, start by hitting as many as you can, and however many sets it takes to get to 40.